It is still iBrand Daybreak, and this is the part where we teach you how to manage your money. And today on Personal Finance, Charles Fakreha will be taking us on strategies to manage your money. Hi, Charles. Good morning.
Good morning, Uche.
It's nice to see you. Are you thinking my name?
Yes.
You are thinking it.
And,
Welcome.
Thank you so much. George, good
Morning, sir.
Yes, I can see that the two of you are really looking good today.
Thank you.
Yes, let's try to radiate and reflect positivism,
Of course.
because our mindsets, our beliefs contribute a lot to how our health is. And you can see today, there are a lot of things that are happening today in the country. I heard that by tomorrow, is the NLC, or what do they call them now, wants to go on strike. In the same Nigeria, a child's intestine, is it intestine or kidney? Intestine is missing, and there's so much, a lot of uncertainty, So for today, we'll be looking at, effective, how to master your personal finance, effective strategy, for money management is very, very key, no matter what is happening. If you look at the faces of Nigerians today, especially Lagosians, not even in Lagos, outside Lagos, Delta State, everywhere, our roads are bad. There seems to be no hope. And this is affecting the personal finances of individuals. Somebody was saying something yesterday that they only eat once a day now because they just need. And in fact, I've seen for the first time a child went to bed without eating. What role can personal finance now play? We're now saying the first thing to manage our money effectively. One, we need to create a comprehensive budget. I keep saying it. This is the time we need to budget because the resources, let me agree with economics now. They say the resources are limited while our wants are insatiable. But again, if we go deep, the resources are not limited. They're only being limited by me and you because of our greed and fear. If not, the Almighty who brought us all to this planet has made provision for everybody. Whether they say it is third world, developing world, it is BRICS country, what we have here today on this planet is enough to make everybody financially independent. So the first step to manage your effective managing of your money, your money, a comprehensive budget. We've said it here times and times, again and again. Then you need to also create an emergency plan. This is the time we need it. Now that things look so difficult, you need to create that emergency. Then there are debts some of us have taken. High interest debt. We need to pay it gradually now. We need to now also save for our retirement. We need to also try to see how we can live within our means. With all these issues going on, why must you say an Ashoibi? Because somebody is doing one party, then Ashoibi is 60,000 naira, and you now go and buy. And the funny thing, with due respect to women, after that they don't put on that dress again. Am I correct? And we are talking of the crisis we are going through. Look at the faces of Lagosians. Look at the faces of Nigerians. This is the time we need to begin to reassess our values and see that we only try our best to get what we actually need, not what we want. So we also need to invest for the future. Then we need to also regularly, see that we adjust our financial plan. Set financial goals. These are key. Just not because you have a financial plan and things are changing, then you still want to, make use of that plan. You have to be flexible. And above all, let's continue to educate ourselves when it comes to our own personal finance. Because if you are attuned, you have peace with money, then I assure you the possibility of having peace with your neighbor is there. Thank you.
All right, so when you talk about personal finance and you delved a little into, prioritizing what our needs are and slightly delved into the Ashwebi, I know some tables would have been shaken. I know some ladies, with due respect to them anyway, they would have felt, impacted by that. But then, is it really realistic, especially in this time that we find ourselves, such a critical time for us to be investing too much in these things? Looking at the fact that, the purchasing power is reduced.
Okay.
But of course, we've got to wine and dine. We've got to marry.
Okay, so, habits, like they say, your habit can make or mar you. And I've seen people who tell me, with due respect to women also again, that somebody described habit as his wife is habit. That the wife can make him, and that same wife can mar him. It's just this Saturday, people still celebrate it. People still they still go to parties. I was even invited to some of them. Yes. And you still see that it's like we have not learned. People still spend. And I ask myself, does it mean that, and of course, after doing all that, they go home and they are regretting what they have done. So you're now saying, why allow just few minutes enjoyment, entertainment to ruin your life? We are seeing children going to bed without feeding. And after those parties, you can see the number of food they just throw away. So that's why we need to adjust. Check our attitude towards money, towards spending. Because it does not make sense. I don't want to be personal here now. You go to a club or you go to anywhere to enjoy yourself. And because you came with some guys, some persons, I don't know how they went. They've done it to me. They know how they get your name. And they just do, I don't know, young people call it Doremi, or what they call that thing. Dorime. And, and you see that the guy now, he's excited. And what he has not even planned for to spend, is spending it. And after that, in his quiet time, he will see that I encourage people to go to a club and enjoy themselves, but budget for it. So if you are going to budget for that Doremi, or what you call it, budget for it. But it is because it's impulsive. And those persons, they take advantage of your emotions. I'm not spoiling business for them. But I'm saying for me, Charles, as a personal finance expert, if I go to such places, it has been budgeted for. So I'm encouraging other people, budget for it. So that by the time they bring that thing, you know that you have budgeted for it and there's no issue. But not when you have not budgeted for it and you spend so much. Then maybe a child comes to you, or somebody, maybe your wife, when you start complaining. But out of impulsive spending, you just spend unnecessarily in those places. And who goes home smiling? The owners of such places. So, managing our money, effective management of our money, calls for us to be more disciplined. And I said, educate ourselves. You don't need to spend money to impress people who don't even think about you. Yes, most of the time, we just assume people are thinking. Meanwhile, they also have their own problems they are thinking of. Why? Because you want to meet up with the Joneses. You want to, you don't need to impress anybody. The fuel crisis, look at the cost of fuel. People are keeping their cars and are going by BRT buses. But you see that, okay, maybe your neighbor, full tank. Me too, let me go and do that. So you need to look at your finances. And this is the time that we all have to look at it, do our budget religiously. Plan for your emergency. Because for your retirement, nobody will plan for your retirement. Even your employer will not do it. Even the government will not do it. Forget whatever palliative, old people's home for your retirement. Even your children, they are not reliable when it comes to your retirement. And if you are a man who have worked so hard, 35 years, and at the end of the day, there is nothing to show for it, then you want to now to begin to live on charity. And if you check your life, you have earned so much money. What has happened? No proper management of your finances. I'll keep emphasizing it. Educate yourself when it comes to money management. Invest for the future.
You know, that kind of informs the next question I was going to ask you, because it seems like this whole ignorance about money management is like a pandemic. A lot of people don't have that understanding. Why is it so? We seem to know a lot about tech, a lot about the economy, a lot about this and that, agriculture, religion, politics, but the personal economy as an individual, a lot of people, if I'm not exaggerating, 80% of grown adults in the world today don't have an understanding of how to manage their personal economy. Why is it so?
Yes, I agree with you. That statistic is even too conservative. It should be over 90-something%. One, first of all, we have said they don't teach you personal finance in any school. Look at the curriculum. From kindergarten to university level, they don't teach it. And I keep saying it, even if you are a professor of finance, you are still a financially illiterate person. Yes.
Even the best of economics.
Yes. Accountants. But there are two different things. Corporate finance is for personal finance. And I argue with them. You can know all the theories about finance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mendelian, M&M, so many financial theories and all that. APT, you know, portfolio management and all that. But when it comes down to your own personal finance, even in National Assembly, you have a committee for finance. And that's why I keep advocating that politicians, as one of their qualifications or criteria to be a public office holder, go and take a course on personal finance. We on our part, we are trying. We organize these seminars, you know, teach them young so that people understand personal finance. Financial literacy is key. Very, very key for everybody. You say you are empowering people. You teach them skills. Give them starter pack. By the time they start their business, they are mixing their personal finance and their business finance. And before you know what, everything crumbles. So one sure way of empowering people in terms of this government empowerment, personal finance should be key. And for people like us, we are ready to offer our skills. Last year I was in an NYSC camp during their side program, and I spoke on personal finance. Till today, I still get the calls from these youth corpers who are now gainfully employed and all that. Personal finance is key. We should not deceive ourselves. Once you can manage your personal finance, every other thing will follow.
All right, thank you so much, Charles, for dropping by the studio today. We appreciate your time.
A pleasure.
All right, you heard it from the professional himself. Personal finance is key. If you're able to manage it, if you're able to put it together, then you are on your way to progress.